morning, dear students. I'm really happy to see you all once again in a physical class. So, as you are aware, we had been discussing a little girl, Bholi. Had we discussed Bholi in the last class? Yes. She was a girl, but a neglected girl. And how was she neglected? We had discussed that. She was neglected by her parents. She was from a family that lived in a village, and therefore the attitude of the village people and the attitude of the parents of Bholi herself was very, very different from the kind of attitude that we have today towards the girls. So the parents were not willing to send Bholi to school. The Tehsildar came and he insisted on Ramlal, that is the father of Bholi, to send the girl to school. But he was hesitant. He went and had a discussion with his wife as to whether Bholi should be sent to school or not. Wife fired at him, said, "How dare you think of such a thing? Has any girl been educated in our house? Their only job is to get married at the right age and maintain the house. Keep the fire of the house burning. Keep the fire of the oven burning." So, Ramlal's wife was absolutely against Bholi's coming to school. She was totally against that. But then, Ramlal was compelled. Why? Because he was a government official. Yes or no? So he had to send to school. He had to send Bholi to school because the Tehsildar insisted on that. If you, being a government officer, would not send your daughters to school, how would the others be willing to send their daughters to school? So he was under compulsion. So out of compulsion, Bholi was taken to school. Okay. And you know how she was taken to school? She was given a fine bath. She was excited. Why are they giving me a bath today? And after that they took oil and applied some oil on her head. Then she was dressed well. Maybe one of the dresses which belonged to her sisters were put on her. And when Bholi saw all this, she thought something good is going to happen. And Bholi's father said, "No, you are off to school. You have to come to school." So Bholi thought, I am leaving to a place which is better than a house or a home, so to say. That was the idea. And that was true in every sense. How was it true in every sense? Bholi's father dragged her to the school and he had a talk with the principal or the headmistress, and the headmistress said, "Okay, you make your child sit there." As soon as the headmistress saw Bholi, she said, "Okay, go and sit there." And that peer group feeling gave her all the excitement. I told you about the peer group in the last class, right? You are all peers, because you come to the same class, you are of the same age, you study the same subjects. So, because of your age, you come under the peer group, and being in the company of your group, your peer group, is very important. That helps you to develop psychologically, that helps you to develop mentally. Okay, many qualities come in when you interact with your peer group members or with your colleagues. Okay, you become sociable. Okay, you share, you exchange your feelings, you fight, you quarrel. All these activities make you a full-grown human being and a student. So peer group, Bholi saw the peer group. She was excited. There are so many girls like me sitting here. Nice. There were lots of pictures there. Pictures of animals, pictures of fruits, pictures of flowers. You know, the kind of pictures you have in the LKG and UKG section. Colorful classroom. And on seeing this picture, she was excited. And many children were writing on the slates their lessons. Some were writing, some were rubbing, some were repeating, maybe some tables, some words, whatever it may be. This atmosphere gave a sense of security to Bholi. So sense of security is very important for a child. Security. Even for you students, security is important. And how does security come? It comes through your parents. They provide for you. They look after you. They meet your needs, your expenses, okay, your dress, your books, your fee. Okay, everything is being provided by your parents, and therefore you are secure. A secure family. Family gives us the protection and security. But unfortunately, Bholi was not given that security at home. That is a point to be noted here. She was a neglected child. So when you are neglected, insecurity comes. What comes? Insecurity. So Bholi felt insecure at home, and that is why when she was sent to school, she felt that I'm going to a place which is better than my home. Something better is going to happen, and it did happen. Now, in today's class, we will discuss what happened at school. Bholi's experience of school. What happened actually? You see, the moment Bholi went to school, she was excited. Excitement. Excitement is a quality that is within every one of us. We become excited, okay, on several occasions. When we meet new friends, okay, when we are appreciated by somebody, when we are given a gift, when we make better results, excitement. Bholi was excited because she saw the environment of the school. What did she see? She saw the environment of the school, the peer group, the learning atmosphere. But the most important person in the school was her teacher. You see, a teacher can turn the life of a student, okay, in any way. A teacher can destroy a student if he wants. He can shape a student if he wants. Okay, he can make a student or mar a student. He can destroy, he can develop. So as far as the life of Bholi was concerned, her school years was concerned, the teacher played an influential and a very, very important role. What happened actually? When Bholi went to school, the teacher asked her name. That was the first question. What is your name? Bholi could not answer. Finished. She cried after that. Stammering. What was the problem of Bholi? She was stammering. Couldn't pronounce even her very own name. Now, this is where the teacher's role comes in. This is where the teacher comes into picture. She was not at all bothered about Bholi's stammering. She was not bothered. For her, Bholi was important, not the stammering. So for a teacher, a student is important, not the weakness of the student. So a teacher can turn the weakness of a student into his own strength, and that is how growth takes place. When all your weaknesses become your strength and your potential, then you become a human being. Yes or no? So teachers play a very important role, and Bholi's teacher was an excellent teacher because she knew how to turn this girl around. She knew how to transform this child, to change this child. Then she said, don't worry. Okay, she patted her on the back and said, come on, try again. And again, she started opening her mouth, again. But this time, there was some feeling here. She did not feel that she was neglected. That feeling of insecurity decreased. See, we are going into the psychology of a child. Understanding the psychology of a child is very important. This time, she got some confidence, a ray of hope, a little bit of light. Why? Because the teacher asked the name of Bholi for the second time. You see, we take attendance in the class. Why do you take attendance in the class? The students come, sit, the teacher comes immediately, he can kind of start the lesson, the class teacher. But your attendance is a must and your names are called out. Why are your names called out? There is a reason behind that. Sometimes teachers, when they are busy, they call out roll number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it goes like that. But in a primary section, the names have to be called out. Why? When the child's name is called out, the child feels a security. Oh, my name is called out. And when the teacher calls the child by the name, unconsciously a relationship is formed. When the teacher looks at the eyes of a student, that eye contact creates confidence. Eyes are very important. If you look down, that means you are not confident. If you look up again, it's not a sign of confidence. Sideways, no. When you look straight into the eyes of somebody, that shows that you are confident within yourself. Body speaks many things. It speaks more than the mouth. So, Bholi's teacher tried not to teach her in the beginning, but she tried to develop a rapport. What is it? Rapport. Even when you become teachers in future, your primary aim should not be to teach the student in the beginning. Never at the primary level or even at the high school level. The primary objective of a teacher is to develop a rapport, support, bonding, relationship. Once a relationship is developed, bonding is developed, the rest follows. That is a gate to win the heart of a student by developing a bond and a relationship is the gateway for the progress of a child, and that is what Bholi's teacher did. Bholi's teacher was not insistent on teaching. Start, no. A, B, C, D, E, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, no. What is your name? Made her speak. A good teacher can study the student by looking at his face. What kind of psychology is going on? What kind of thoughts are going on? By looking at the face, you can say what you are and what's going on within you, because face is the index of mind. Face is the index of mind. All that is written in your heart is shown here. Okay. So by looking at Bholi, the teacher must have understood. Okay, there is a problem with this girl. She was not confident. Her looks were not satisfying. Okay, there wasn't any kind of courage. The way she walked, the way she talked, the way she moved her hands, all give a clear picture. And the teacher is sensitive enough. If he is a good teacher or she is a good teacher, she will pick up from the signs of the body language. So by looking at Bholi, she thought something is wrong with this girl and she needs support, encouragement. Okay, and you know what she did? She motivated her in the beginning and then she gave her a book. Now first, she made Bholi say her name, repeat her name. She succeeded. Second time, there was confidence. And after that, she said, don't worry, say very slowly, tell your name correctly. And slowly, she increased the speed, and then finally she was able to pronounce her name correctly. So, the first test was over. What was over? First test for Bholi was over. Now the second step. Now reading has to start. So she gave her a book. What did she give her? She gave her a book. And she told Bholi to read. But as you know, the girl was stammering. So to read one line, it took much of a time for Bholi. She was stuttering, faltering, stammering. Okay? I'll give you one example. How many of you have watched this film Three Idiots? Okay, I'll start. You'll find a character in that, Virus.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Professor.
Yes.
Who is that character? Who played the role of that professor?
Bholi.
You remember the name of that person?
Bhamani.
Correct. Bhamani Rani. And you know, he was a pakka stammerer at the age of 10. I was listening to one of his talks. Amazing. He could not even speak properly. His mother took him to St. Mary's School in Mumbai, one of the topmost schools. The principal just showed him a picture of a horse. He could not say that it is a horse. Words were not coming. Shivering. And he accepted the fact. I was a stammerer. He studied only up to class 10. After that, he used to make these potato chips, because his mother was making potato chips. He's a Parsi. He's a Rastrian. So he sold all these chips and he was talking about all the struggles that he had come across his life. Then he went to this Taj Mahal hotel in Mumbai. He did the job of a waiter. Okay. And he was very much interested in working at the French restaurant Rendezvous on the topmost floor of the hotel. But the manager said, you start from below. He worked as a waiter. Then after that, he became a photographer. And he asked one of the magazine editors to cover up a boxing match. And he goes on saying, finally he says, there is a jungle out there in your brain. You have to fight this jungle. So what is this kind of jungle that he's talking about? The problems, the barriers, the challenges. And today, this man has become so famous that he speaks with a terrible speed, faster than lightning. Words are coming. And only when he is into the acting, he stammers. When he is asked to do the role of a stammerer, only then he does that. Otherwise, fluent. Amazing. So all great people, they had this difficulty, like Bholi. Abhishek Bachchan was a stammerer. Okay. Hrithik Roshan was a stammerer. There were many people. But they fought with their problem and they conquered their problem. Bholi conquered that problem. And somebody is definitely behind there to support you, to motivate you, to encourage you, to fight with the problem. The teacher of Bholi's teacher, she gave her a book and said, now come and read. For every sentence she took 2 minutes, 3 minutes, very slowly. But the teacher was patient. You see, patience is a quality which everyone needs, and it is more so for the teachers. If a teacher is not patient, he cannot be a success, he or she. Especially the teachers who are teaching in the lower sections. If they are not patient, gone. You are a flop. Because you are dealing with kids with different capacities. Not all the kids are of the same capacity. Not all of them are at the same level. Bholi's difficulty was understood. First, understand the problem of the child. The teacher did that. Motivate the child. The teacher did that. Give a chance to the child. The teacher did that. Walk with the child. The teacher did that. He did all these things. She did all these things. And that is why Bholi was able to read faster. Slowly and steadily. She made many mistakes. Teacher said, don't worry. She cried. Tears were coming out. Okay. She stopped halfway through. Could not proceed. She said, oh, you can do it. Come on, start again. So she did a lot of spade work. A teacher has to do a lot of spade work. What is the spade work? What do you call initial work. If the farmer is going to kind of cultivate rice in the field, he cannot just go and sow the seeds. First he has to prepare the ground. Yes or no? Till the ground. take away the weeds, use some fertilizers, then you plant the seed, then it grows, then pluck it, and then again put it in another place, then it grows, then in between you have to monitor. It's a long process, difficult. And the teacher did all that, spade work, prepared Bholi, and Bholi became a normal reader. Bholi became a normal reader and she was a successful student. The teacher was motivating. She kept on motivating, and finally Bholi was able to read. She also progressed in other subjects like mathematics and science. 10 years passed. How many years passed? 10 years. The primary school changed into high school. See the growth. So obviously Bholi got a chance to complete her primary level and go into the high school level. But then after that, a tragedy struck Bholi. What struck Bholi? A tragedy struck. What exactly is the tragedy? We will discuss after some time. But before you write a question, an important question, I will give you just write it down. Then we'll continue. How did the teacher of Bholi, influence her? How did